Hello everybody, welcome to episode 2 of What If I Ran WWE. Today we're going to be looking through the entire month of June, and as you can see right off the gate we have some releases. I have chosen to release Riddick Moss, No Way Jose, Peyton Royce, and Billy Kay. What I think, what these superstars would do, this is really bad timing considering what's happening right now, but what I would assume, hold on. I love tea. What I would assume is Riddick Moss will go to Lucha Underground, if that's even still a company. If not, him and No Way Jose will just run the independent scene. Peyton Royce, Billy Kay will probably go to AEW. Most likely, but that's just me. Now let's go on to our first show of, if we can get to it. Our first show is Monday Night Raw, June 1st. Sort of a brand new day. And first we start off with Andrade. We start the show with Andrade versus Sheamus. No beginning promo. These guys are going to start off the show. Go out there, do what you can. These guys go a good 15, 16 minutes. The match ends when Austin Theory comes down, goes to distract Sheamus, and Andrade picks up the victory. Andrade grabs the mic and says, "I'm one of the greatest superstars on Monday Night Raw, and nobody can touch me." Roger Strong comes in and touches him. I mean, not like that. Not like that. I mean, he just attacks him. He doesn't touch him like that. So we go on to our next match. Zack Ryder versus EC3. Good old match to get these two on the card. Know what they're doing. They go about 10 minutes. It's pretty equal, but EC3 gets the victory. Next match is Lars Sullivan versus Kalisto. The match goes on pretty good until, Lars Sullivan starts beating down Kalisto. He's beating him down, beating him down, beating him down, beating him down, beating him down. And, no one can stop him. And so Humberto Carrillo has to come down there. Whoops. Humberto Carrillo's got to come down there, and Lars Sullivan just picks him up and throws him out the ring. And I only trust Humberto Carrillo to do this. Only trust him. Not to get hurt. Next match is Curtis Axel versus Dallas. These guys get 13 minutes back and forth brawling. But of course, do some, using his chain that he wears around his neck, he grabs, Curtis Axel, throw him down to the ground, pins him 1, 2, 3 without, getting disqualified. So Dallas wins the match. So, okay, so we got some good stuff so far. Next match is the Street Profits versus New Day. It's a non-title match, show some, let's say on the Raw pre-show, the Street Profits were like, their usual thing, and the New Day go, "Yo, we want a match." Like, sure, let's do this. Match goes on to get 20, 22 minutes until, wait, what? Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly come down to attack them. What? Yeah, they take down the Street Profits and New Day, just the two of them with chairs, saying, "Yeah, we're coming after this brand." Next match is Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. The match, get some women on the card, get 15-minute match. For said women. Asuka picks up the victory, and she attacks Alexa Bliss afterwards. Now the main event: Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens. It was announced. Let's say it was announced. After the main event of Backlash, that Drew McIntyre will face off against Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. But these guys go the distance. They go 25, maybe 30 minutes, just brawling back and forth. Drew McIntyre gets the victory, and before he even knows it, the entirety of Undisputed Era comes down to attack him, ending Raw with Adam Cole with the WWE Championship up high in the sky. It's now time for NXT. Yep, NXT. Yep, NXT. Hold on. I'm wondering something. Okay, never mind. I was just like, strange. So for NXT, Tommaso Ciampa comes in there and says, "You know what? I've got a bone to pick, and you guys will find out about that tonight." I got a little saliva down my little thing right here. Next match is Matt Riddle versus, I think that's Zack Gibson. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Zack Gibson. These two go a match. Zack Gibson ends up winning the match because James Drake gets involved. Next up, we have Jordan Devlin's Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge versus Brian Kendrick. Jordan Devlin retains his championship pretty easily. Eric Young comes out and says he's got him he's got someone on his hit list, and he's going to take care of him one way or another. He's going to pretty much become the Bray Wyatt of NXT, where he's going to make a quote, and then, you know, you'll find out who he's talking about. Next up, we have Kushida versus Steve Cutler. Yeah, Kushida ends up winning the match. Next up, we have Dominik Dijakovic versus Damian Priest. These guys go the match. They end on a draw easily. Charlotte Flair comes out, start talking trash, how she's the NXT Women's Champion and that no NXT woman can beat her. People are booing her, etc. Velveteen Dream versus Drew Gulak. This is for the title. And before you know it, Tommaso Ciampa screws Drew Gulak out of the match. He's like, come on, Drew. Do something. Velveteen Dream retains. It is now time for SmackDown! We start off the show with Roman Reigns going to say something, and then you hear, I'm back! And better than ever! Eric Bischoff announces his intention for Roman Reigns versus The Fiend at King of the Ring, but it's going to be a steel cage match. Roman isn't getting out, nor is The Fiend. We have a King of the Ring qualifier between Apollo Crews and The Miz. This match is going to be great because these two are great wrestlers. Apollo Crews wins it. Fun fact, when I used to do fantasy bookings just for fun, I had Apollo Crews win the Money in the Bank and the WWE Championship, and my friend said, you're stupid. And now I hope Apollo Crews wins the Money in the Bank this year just so I could rub it in his freaking face. Next match we have is Chad Gable, not Shorty G, remember, versus Trevor Lee, not Cameron Grimes. So, this match, is a good back and forth technical match, but Trevor Lee wins the match. Gotta give him that push for, because he's a good wrestler. And what the hell's going on right here? Do you see that? I've got a dip right here. What the hell? Is it the same on this side too? I don't think so. What the hell? Can someone explain to me what that is? I don't get what that is. Help! I'm dying. No. Next match, we have Liv Morgan versus Bayley. These guys go 20 minutes. I'm giving them the whole thing because these two are great wrestlers. Liv Morgan wins. Gotta build her up. Next match, we have Aleister Black helping his buddy Ricochet versus The Club. Ricochet says, he was backstage like, I need a partner, Aleister Black. But he's kind of like when Heath Slater was trying to find a partner. Rhino puts his hand on his shoulder. This time, it's Aleister Black. And Ricochet's like, oh, hey, buddy. You ready to do this? Just shakes his head. The match is great, but, Aleister Black and Ricochet wins the match because these two are great teams. I'm okay with a mixed match team like this, a makeshift team like this. I think they got good chemistry. Next match is Braun Strowman versus King Corbin for the Intercontinental Championship. King Corbin's like, before I become a two-time Mr. King of the Ring, I'm going to be walking in to King of the Ring with the Intercontinental Championship. Braun wins. Yeah. It's a good brawl. It's a good 13 match. Baron Corbin lifts him up for a end of days, and I hope Braun fucking sells the hell out of it and kicks out of two. But yeah, Braun, retains. Next up is this is a Money in the Bank qualifier. Daniel Bryan versus Elias. Yeah. Finn Balor comes down to the match, does well. Daniel Bryan about to hit a run. Finn Balor, bang, drop kicks him because the ref's down. He doesn't see it. Elias wins. So with that, he goes on to King of the Ring. Next, it is Raw. It is now Raw. Drew McIntyre comes down and says, you know what, Adam Cole? You did this in NXT, and now you're doing it on Raw? I'm going to kick your ass, Adam Cole. I'm going to beat the hell at you. And you know what? I challenge you tonight for the WWE Championship, and I'm going to make sure you pay. He does that. I think that's a good Drew McIntyre. Next match is a triple threat #1 contenders match between Austin Theory, Sheamus, and Roderick Strong. All three of these guys want the U.S. title, and they're gonna fight over it. Roderick Strong wins with the help of Kyle Rawley and Bobby Fish. Next match is a good throwaway match, because why not? We always need good. It's not really a throwaway match; it's a build-up match. Build up some stars. Why not? We got Titus versus Mojo Rawley. This is a good 7 or 8 minutes. Titus wins. I don't like booking these kind of matches that are short, but Titus wins. Randy Orton comes out and he says he has a message. He says he's got a message, and then bang! Mojo comes out, puts him in the Coquina clutch. He's gonna kick your ass. Yeah! Sorry you had to see that. Next match is a Big E versus EC3. This match is good brawl, good get the crowd hyped up. EC3 wins, and he goes on the mic and says, you are trash. I'm going to show my worth as the top 1%er in the WWE. I'm challenge a former world champion in Kofi Kingston. I don't really want to say former world champion since he lost the thing in 8 seconds, so it's something I will never do when I win the WWE champion one of these days. Show that he's cocky. Show him that, he looks good. He knows he looks good. That kind of thing. He challenges Kofi Kingston for a match at Extreme Rules. Next match, we have a #1 contenders match for the Raw Tag Team titles. The Undisputed Era versus New Day. Kofi Kingston's in this match. As you can't see that because he's behind my mic. Let me see if I can. Let me see if hold on. I probably didn't match that up right. Okay, so the Undisputed Era win. Adam Cole comes down, grabs Xavier Woods' head, bang him across the top rope. Kyle Rawley does his finisher move. I think a super kick. I'm just kidding. It's not a super kick. It's something though, and they win the match. But after the match, for some reason, the Viking Raiders come down and just start tearing apart Xavier Woods, just throwing him around. They're turning heel. I think the Viking Raiders, or the War Machine, are going to be great heels. So that's why I turned them heel. Next match is Curtis Axel versus Eric Young. Eric Young's final appearance on Raw, I think. But Curtis Axel wins the match. Trying to give Eric Young a handshake. Eric Young grabs his hand, puts him in a DD. Paul Driver! I'm so glad my chair didn't break. Oh my god, I got scared. Next match, we have Natalya, Asuka, Ruby Riott, and Alexa Bliss. #1 contenders match for Shayna Baszler's Women's Championship at Extreme Rules. This match is a good 22 minute match. Give their women their time. Natalya wins the match. Oh me, oh my. Shayna Baszler comes down there, puts the like a little arm, leg bar, and Natalya reverses that into an arm bar or something. Shayna Baszler runs with her title with her tail between her legs. Yeah. It's now time for the main event. Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship against Adam Cole, bye-bye. As, of course, the main event's the longest match on the card. And Adam Cole says he's not going to do it unless there's no disqualification. Drew McIntyre's like, fine, come on, fight me then. And he instantly regrets it. He's going to have to fight off 4 guys with no help. And he does. He goes 15, 20 minutes just battling all 4 of these guys. He does pretty well. He thinks he wins, but no. Adam Cole ends up picking the win and winning the WWE Championship on his first match on Monday Night Raw. People are like, what? What? So, yeah. I did this to see, because I thought it would be a nice shock. Put Adam Cole's first WWE Championship on live television, because that's always nice, because that means everyone gets to see it. Free TV, everyone gets to see it. Not really free TV, you gotta pay for that shit, but it is now time for the Saudi Arabia event, King of the Ring, and we're starting this off really good with the first King of the Ring match. Baron Corbin versus Mustafa Ali. These matches a good 12-minute opener, but King Corbin cheats to win the match. He goes on to the semifinals. Next match is we got Saudi Arabian himself, Mansoor versus Trevor Lee. Jesus Christ, there's so much hair in this match. So much hair. So much hair. Look at all that chest hair and that face hair. Jeez, that's so much hair. This is a good match. It's a good match because we got Trevor Lee and Mansoor. Mansoor wins. Look at that face. Next up, we have another King of the Ring match and Braun Strowman versus Rusev. These two get kind of carried away and start brawling. Yep, in the crowd. They haven't done that yet. Nope, they haven't done that, and I'm going to do it. Kind of scared to do it, though, but they're going to do it. So they end in a double countout. King Corbin goes on to the finals because he doesn't have a semifinalist, which gives him lots of heat. King Corbin is told this backstage, and King Corbin's like, Braun and Rusev were just scared of me. That's why they had to count themselves out. They know I would have beaten them. So there's that. So, and I should mention that we're doing old style King of the Ring rules, where if you win, you get a world title shot down the line. But it's at the next pay-per-view, so. Next match, we have the Colognes versus the Usos. Let me see if I can match Primo's face here. Hold on, let me get his nose. I don't know. I can't do it. I'm so damn dumb. This match is pretty good, and when the Usos are about to do their splash, you hear, I spit in the face the people who don't want to be cool. Carlito returns, and I would try to keep this a secret. I know it's not a big return, but when I like to do returns like this, I like to keep them a secret. So, when I get returns, I don't tell any of my sources. I'm like, I don't tell anybody. It's just staying between you and me, and you wear a fucking hood on, okay? You understand that? You understand that, Carlito? You put a fucking hood on, you get and come in. You hide this surprise. People like you, even though you're a mid-carder. He helps his brothers win the match, or his cousins, whatever. They win the match, finally getting a win. Next match is a King of the Ring quarterfinal match in Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This should be a good match. This should be a good match. It is. These guys go 18 minutes, giving the Saudi Arabians what they want. Jeff Hardy wins the match, stealing all of our hearts. Next match, another King of the Ring qualifying match. Apollo Crews versus Elias. These guys go good. I love a match, to cool the crowd down a little bit. Apollo Crews almost wins. Elias, whenever the referee is looking, bang! Elias hits Apollo Crews with his guitar. Gets the win. 1, 2, 3. He goes on to the semifinals to face Jeff Hardy. Next match we have. So, if you're wondering if who the heels are, it's the Club, but the Revival aren't faces either. They're tweeners. Also, I gotta do yeah. It's just so stupid. This would be a good match. These guys go good around. Styles tries to get involved, but the Revival, they outsmart him, and the Revival retain their tag titles. Next match is semifinals. So the only semifinals match is King Corbin going on to the final round of the gate. Jeff Hardy versus Elias. Elias tries to, injure Jeff Hardy's arm, but he fails. Jeff Hardy wins the match. Next match, we have Daniel Bryan versus Finn Balor. This will be match of the night. These guys go almost 30 minutes. It's a good match. They just hit each other back and forklift kicks. Oh my god! Kind of like a New Japan match where it's just fucking stiff. But Finn Balor ends up winning the match pretty clean. I don't like the whole Prince thing cheating. I think he's good. He knows he's good. So there's that. Next match was AJ Styles versus Ricochet. Again, another good match. These guys aren't calming anybody down. But AJ Styles wins the match because the Club gets involved. Dante, are you okay? He's asleep. Next up, the King of the Ring finals. Baron Corbin's working that arm. And people, I know my damn toys is going to hate this if he ever watches this. I probably won't. But Baron Corbin wins. He picks up the mic and he says, I told you I'd do it. It's simple, really. I said I was going to do it, and I did. And so, at the next pay-per-view, whoever it is between The Fiend and Roman Reigns, just know that Universal title is coming around my shoulder. Puts the mic down, goes to the back with his crown still intact. Finally, the main event, The Fiend versus Roman Reigns in a steel cage match. Oh my god, The Fiend will destroy Roman Reigns. Like, Roman Reigns should be busted in the first 5 minutes of the match. The Fiend is just beating him senseless. Like, he's taking his, he takes his gloves off, where you should see, like, a nasty hand-looking thing. I don't know, maybe a normal hand. I don't know. It's Bray Wyatt's character. He starts digging into Roman Reigns' scalp. Blood just dripping all over the place, throwing him across the cage. Blood all of his arms, chest, face. You know, I would have this really gruesome just for Roman Reigns. The Fiend should not be touched. This is pretty much Reigns getting squashed badly. The Fiend wins. You hear? The Fiend wins. Also, there is no NXT. I don't book an NXT. Triple H does. This is why there is no NXT that I'm specifying right now. I give Triple H keys for NXT because I'm dealing with the Saudi Arabia stuff. That's why there's no NXT on this right for this week. And we go straight to SmackDown. SmackDown, June 12th. Hopefully, everyone's here and not stuck in Saudi. Hopefully. I would hope not. Because this is a deal I can't really back out of until 2030. So there's that. Next up, Eric Bischoff is here, announcing the Money in the Bank. There will be Money in the Bank qualifiers, etc. Oh, there's a surprise in this one. In this episode, you're gonna like, oh yeah. And you know, he does his thing. Right at the gate, we have a triple threat, tag team, like number one contenders match for the Revival at Money in the Bank. We have the Colognes, Usos, and Miz and Morrison. I gotta do John Morrison's face. Hold up. I don't know. Okay, but this match is really good. I would give everybody equal time. I would have it look like the Clones are about to win, but then Miz and Morrison steal the victory. Morrison or Miz grabbing one of the Usos' tights, rolling them out. 1, 2, 3. They get their match. They pick up mics and says they're going to get their titles back. They should have gotten an automatic rematch clause because that's how this company works. And they're going to get their titles back at Money in the Bank, and there's no stopping it. The Revival are paper champions compared to them, is what they say. Next match, we have Mansoor, who is officially on this who is officially on the SmackDown roster, facing off against Eric Young. Eric Young wins. It's not a squash per se. It's more so Mansoor kind of gets a little too big-headed, and Eric Rowan kind of, does his thing. And then the Firefly Funhouse episode, Bray Wyatt's got his Universal Champion. It's like, I do like this toy. I really, really do like this toy. Then he goes, but I got something even better. He goes in his little toy box. You don't see it yet, but fans are thinking, yeah, is it? Is it? He puts it across his shoulder. It's the World Heavyweight Championship. He says, this toy, this is a lot better. Bye, kids! He does his little thing. He's got the World Heavyweight Championship. He's happy. He gets what he wants. It's a neat toy. Elias is doing his thing, bring. And then Chad Gable comes out, setting up a match between those two before he even gets to this concert. We're going back to that gimmick. I like that gimmick. Chad Gable versus Elias. This is a good 12-minute match. Chad Gable wins. And then and then a little bit later, we'll go commercial break. Come back. Rusev's in the ring, and he says he's got something to say. He's going to say it right now. He's going to take it out on Braun Strowman. He says he wants an Intercontinental Championship match. I'm sorry. He wants the Intercontinental Championship match, and he's going to get it right now. Instead, Braun Strowman comes out and says, how about next week? Okay, so the match is made official for the next week. Braun Strowman vs. Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship on the next week's SmackDown. Next match. Oh, wait, I gotta do this one now. This is really weird. Oh, my neck. Oh, my neck. Oh, my neck. I can't do it. I can't do it. His face is too. Hold up. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Hold on. Maybe I can do it now. No, my neck ain't that flexible. Next up, Aleister Black versus Cesaro. Good hard-hitting match. Aleister Black wins. Give him another undefeated streak. You know, have him, do a couple of rounds. Next up, Sasha Banks has a match, but guess what? Bang! Naomi comes down and starts beating the shit out of Sasha Banks. She wants the Women's Championship. And then we have a Money in the Bank qualifier for the women's side of things. Ember Moon versus Bayley. God, you guys are going to hate me for this, but I'm going to give Ember Moon the win. I know I've been giving Bayley a bunch of losses, but it'll be alright. I got plans. I got plans. Next up, we have Daniel Bryan versus Baron Corbin. Yeah. Good match. Baron Corbin wins. It's a good match. Baron Corbin proving that he deserves the Fiend, beating someone the Fiend lost to. And then backstage, they end the show off. You see Roman Reigns with a chair pummeling Jeff Hardy. Nobody knows why. He's just pummeling the poor guy. Nobody knows why. He's just pummeling him. I don't know. Nobody knows why. Everyone's confused, but he just pummels him. It is now Raw once again. Adam calls out there. Brian Kevin was like, "You don't deserve that." And then they start bickering for a little bit. And Adam Cole says, "How about you and Zayn fight my two boys?" And he's like, "Sure, we'll beat their asses." It's matches made for the main event. Next match is EC3 versus Xavier Woods. Once again, just like he did with Big E, EC3 wins the match. Then the Titantron, you can see Big E, Kofi, and Big E and Kofi, with Xavier, and then you can see the Viking Raiders on there and says, "You three have been all fun and games way too long. We are going to bring war to the new day. We are going to take down the mantles of this new day and usher in our new day." Something cryptic like that. They're trying to take out this sunshine and happiness on Raw. Next match, a rematch from the following week, the previous week, Titus O'Neil versus Mojo Rawley. Mojo Rawley picks up a win this time round, grabbing Titus O'Neil's tights. Roger Strong comes out. On the mic it says, talks about how Andrade beat him he had a match against Andrade in NXT for the NXT Championship, and how he is going to take the U.S. title off of him and usher in a reign of an undisputed reign of gold for the Undisputed Era. So there's that. Next match on this list is Asuka versus Nikki Cross. Kairi Sane comes in, trips Kairi Sane. Not Kairi Sane, but Nikki Cross. Kairi Sane trips Nikki Cross. Nikki's like, "What?" And then Asuka spits that mist to her face. Asuka wins. Next match, we have Samoa Joe versus Jinder Mahal. Because I like Jinder. Fuck off. I think this match would be good. If Jinder would learn a new moveset. But Joe ends up winning the match out of nowhere to a KO from out of nowhere. Oh my God! Randy is sending a message. So we have Natalya versus Lana. With Shayna Baszler's help, Lana wins. It's a shock win. We need those sometimes. Paul Heyman. What in the world? I'm sorry. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Hold on. What's going on? Give me a second. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta look at something. It's been a while since I looked at this. Hold on. Give me what I want. Paul Heyman comes out and says, SmackDown's the B show. That's all he says. SmackDown's the B show. He's the man and all that good stuff. Raw's the best show. And he talks about how the Undisputed Era, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, that's all been going wrong. So he announces a Fatal 4-Way Steel Cage match. Whatever SmackDown didn't do, we can do better. So he ushers in a steel cage match for Extreme Rules. That's his mindset, pretty much. Next match, Austin Theory, Kalisto, and Shelton Benjamin. A good spotlight for some cruiserweights. I think Austin Theory's a cruiserweight. God, I'd hope so. Austin Theory wins. Gotta build him up a little bit. Next match, we have the main event. Owens and Zayn versus Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish of the Undisputed Era. Yeah. The match is good, but when, you know, the going gets good for the Undisputed Era, Drew McIntyre comes out and starts being the sham, good. They get distracted. Sami Zayn hits a Louvre kick, and Kyle O'Reilly's head flies off his shoulders. Owens and Zayn win the match, and Drew McIntyre stands there holding the gold above his head. He's like, yeah, this is mine. It is now NXT. I'm back at the helm. William Regal comes out and, you know, talking about how the show is and all that. He says, you know what? He announces the match for TakeOver Seattle between Dream and Gargano. That's already confirmed. And Gulak and Ciampa. And he announces that Gulak and Dream will team up against the newly reunited DIY. Fans go crazy. Gargano and Ciampa are shown in the back. Not too happy about it, but yeah. And so we start off with a fatal four-way, you know, as per usual, with Matt Riddle, Alex Shelley, I'm sorry. Blake Wesley Blake. I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's 2 a.m. and I want to sleep. Versus Zack. Oh, can I do this one? I want to do this one. Zach Gibson. This match is a good match, but Matt Riddle ends up picking up the win. Next match, we have the Jordan Devlin Hope and challenge between him and Arya Daivari. He wins the match pretty convincingly. Okay, next match is another Fatal 4-Way with the other members of the set teams. Pete Dunne, Kushida, Steven Cutler, and James Drake. This match is pretty good, but Kushida ends up winning the match. So, yeah. Winning one for his team. Next up, we have Keith Lee defending his championship against Killian Dane. Keith Lee says he wants a challenge. Keith Lee says, I'll give you a challenge. The match is good, but Shane fucking Thorne comes out out of nowhere. Kind of distracts both of them, and then Eric Young comes out and attacks Killian Dane. Keith Lee pins him. I'm like, okay. That was freestyle. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. I don't remember. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I really need sleep. And finally, we have our main event, Dream Gulak versus DIY. DIY, they're arguing, but at the end, they fucking kick Velveteen Dream head off, and they win the match with Johnny Gargano super kicking Ciampa's head off at the end. It is now SmackDown. Start the show with Roman Reigns versus Heath Slater. Reigns wins, as per usual. And he talks about why he attacked Jeff Hardy. He attacked Jeff Hardy because he's always the favorite. Jeff Hardy has done so many bad things in his career, and the fans still choose to cheer him. He has done nothing his entire career, and he is just and the fans choose to boo him. He goes on about how Jeff Hardy is a demon and all that good junk, and that fans should hate him. Why? It's pretty much jealousy that Jeff Hardy can do whatever he wants and the fans will still cheer him, while Reigns has to bust his ass just to have fans to cheer him. So, yeah. Next match is Mansoor versus Carlito. Carlito ends his return match, and then backstabbers Mansoor, sending a message to the young Saudi Arabian. Next match is a rematch from the King of the Ring tournament. Apollo Crews versus Elias. Elias picks up the victory, try to get some momentum back on his side. Next up, we have the dirt sheets, and then it's really not the dirt sheet. It's them, reviewing a match with the Revival. The Revival's first match, and they're just making fun of the fact that the Revival lost their first match and all that good stuff. So, yeah, I think that'd be entertaining. Next match, we have a SmackDown Women's Championship match between Sasha Banks versus Naomi. This match is good, 16 minutes long. Sasha wins. At first, I thought I did really well with the editing there, and I realized it sucks. Naomi goes on to attack Sasha once again, trying to get that title back. Next up, we have Baron Corbin on the mic saying, Hello, I am your two-time King of the Ring, back-to-back King of the Ring, back-to-back King of the Ring winner. So, you all should just bow down to me, and when I take the belt off of Bray Wyatt at Money in the Bank, you all will finally show respect to me when I beat that demon. And he says, well, it's not Bray Wyatt I want. I don't want that joke. I want the Fiend. He says. Next up, we have a women's Money in the Bank qualifying match between Lacey Evans and Dana Brooke. Good match. Good back and forth between the two. Lacey Evans wins the match. Okay, the sassy Southern Belle wins. Next up, we have Braun Strowman versus Rusev in the main event. It's a non-station match pretty much, but you know they don't choose to use weapons. They might bring out steel steps once in a while, but Braun Strowman wins the match because Braun Strowman is the man. It is now time for the first NXT takeover under my jurisdiction, NXT Takeover Seattle. Credit to whoever made that. I'm pretty sure it was Brendan Plays, but I'm not too sure. Next up, we have Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle defending their championship against the Grizzled Young Veterans. Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, they win. That's gonna be a good fucking match right there. That's a good match if you think about it. Next, and then you see Team 61 coming out to attack the Broserweights to try to send a message. Next up, we have Charlotte Flair defending her championship against Candice LeRae. You know, Charlotte's been, teasing her about how she can't do the job, she can't get it done, and all that stuff. And she gets the job done, finally picking up the W. Next up, we have the Jordan Devlin Cruiserweight Open Challenge. This time, Jack Gallagher answers the call, and Jordan Devlin wins it. Again, pretty convincingly. Next up, we have a no-holds-barred match. Just kidding. It's just a no disqualification match between Tommaso Ciampa and Drew Gulak. What's the difference? I don't know. I don't know. But Tommaso Ciampa wins the match, but Drew Gulak does a lot better than anyone expects. And then it is announced that Kota Ibushi has signed with NXT. So I would do everything I could just to sign this dude. I would literally buy his contract out from New Japan. I would try to talk to him and be like, alright, what's it going to take for you to sign with us? I would talk to the New Japan officials and be like, okay, how much will it be to buy out his contract and all that? And I would fork the fucking money over. Just stick him in NXT, I know, right? Now, I would give him like $750K a year, if that's what it took, but next match is going to be Kushida, or the Time Splitters, versus the Forgotten Sons. It's a good match, but the Forgotten Sons win their match. But after the match, for some reason, Alex Shelley attacks Kushida, and he just leaves him there, lying. Next up, we have a triple threat match between Keith Lee, Killian Dane, and Eric Young. This is a good match, but Keith Lee retains his championship. Next up, we have a last man standing match between Dominik Dijakovic and Damian Priest. Damian Priest knocks him upside the head with a lead pipe, and he wins the match. And finally, our main event, it is the Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Gargano. It's Johnny. It's Johnny. But yeah, the Velveteen Dream wins. It's probably going to be 5 stars. I know. I'm a genius. It is now time for Raw once again. Adam Cole comes out there, but Andrade comes out there saying he wants a champion first. It's kind of like Drew McIntyre versus Andrade in real life, but instead it's Adam Cole versus Andrade. So there. We start the show with Zack Ryder versus Shelton Benjamin. Zack Ryder picks up a victory because it's always nice to see Zack Ryder win. Then we have the New Day versus the Viking Raiders and EC3. Oh, I'm sorry. The New Day win. Kofi pinning EC3, saying, "You're not ready for me, bro." Next up, we have Lars Sullivan versus Rey Mysterio. Lars Sullivan wins. Rey was trying to, defend his fellow luchadors. He couldn't get the job done. Next up, we have Shayna Baszler versus Ruby Riott. Shayna wins, absolutely demolishing her. We have Curtis Axel, Dallas, and Sheamus in a triple threat match. You know, basic triple threat match. You know, Dallas and Axel have beef, but Sheamus wants a match. So we give Sheamus the victory here. I know I'm pushing Dallas. This would be kind of meh, but we're not having Dallas take the pin here. We'd say that Axel takes out Dallas at the end of the match, and Sheamus, you know, bro kicks him with that I'm looking. Next up, we have Drew McIntyre versus Roderick Strong with the help of the Undisputed Era. Roderick Strong wins. Man, I'm tired. I can't even see what button I'm pushing. And then Kevin Owens comes out of nowhere and just bang! Stunners good old Drew McIntyre, sending a message to the Scottish psychopath that he's going to win the WWE Championship, not him. Backstage, you see Samoa Joe strangling Randy Orton as he does. You know, setting a match between those two at Extreme Rules. Next up, we have champion versus champion Adam Cole versus Andrade. Don't know where that voice came from. But, of course, the match is good. Adam Cole wins. Hopefully this is 5 stars. Dave Meltzer, don't be greedy. Oh, boy. This is NXT. This is NXT. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. William Regal's intentions for TakeOver Portland 2 for there to be an Elimination Chamber match. Yep. An Elimination Chamber. NXT's first chamber match. Because I think that would be neat to have the... This is not the Playhouse Chamber. This is the old chamber. The one that actually hurts. We're bringing that back. And so first off, we start off the night. Number 1 contenders match. TM61 versus the Young Grizzled Veterans. TM61 wins their match. And they're going straight after the Broserweights and their NXT titles. Then we have the Jordan Devlin Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge, and Zema Ion is the one to answer the call, because guess what? He's signed with WWE. He is. So give him some limelight. This guy is a great athlete. But Jordan Devlin wins the match. Alex Shelley comes out, and, you know, he tries to speak his mind to explain why he attacked Kushida. But the fans just won't. Hopefully the fans, if we have fans, they just keep booing him, and he just drops the mic and says, screw it, I'm not talking. Next up, we have Isaiah Scott versus Killian Dane versus Jackson Ryder. Number 1 contenders match for Keith Lee's North American title. Eric Young comes and screws out Killian Dane. Yeah. And Jackson Ryder picks up the win, pinning Isaiah Scott, because Jackson Ryder is a phenomenal wrestler. Like, Jesus. And next, Jack Gallagher is down in the ring. He's like, hey, guys, remember me? And he pulls out the European Championship. He's like, this is mine. If I can't become champion, I'll make myself champion. You know, because that'll give him proclaiming himself as the new European champion will get a lot of heat. Next up, we have a number 1 contenders match for Candice LeRae's Women's Championship between Mia Yim, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai. Io Shirai wins the match, pinning Mia Yim. So this is going to be a great match right here. Next up, we have the first qualifier of the Elimination Chamber match for Portland 2. Kota Ibushi versus Damian Priest or Punishment Martinez. Still haven't decided which. But due to Dijakovic's interference, Kota Ibushi wins the match and goes on. Shoot, his first takeover is a main event. Would you look at that? It is now time for SmackDown. Sasha Banks starts a show. Yes, we're having a woman start the show because that's always nice. And she talks about how she's going to wring Naomi's throat at Money in the Bank. Yep. Then we start off the match, or the show, with a match of Roman Reigns versus Kane. Reigns wins, and then the lights go out. Then the Titantron comes out. You see a man wearing a mask and a white and black umbrella. And laugh. And then the words, why, come on the screen. So a lot of people are going to know this is Willow. Yeah, it's Jeff Hardy's alter ego, Will-O-The-Wisp. Hopefully we can get the rights to this. If Jeff Hardy will be, I'd ask, hey Jeff, you want to do Willow for this feud? Hopefully he'll say yes. Hopefully. That'd be nice. Next up, we have Mansoor versus Primo, continuing his feud with Carlito. Mansoor wins the match, and, he sends a message to Carlito. Then we have the Firefly Funhouse. Again, Bray Wyatt's like, guys, did you hear that? our friend King Corbin wants to face the Fiend. And, you know, all the puppets are laughing like, he doesn't deserve to face the Fiend and all that good stuff. Like, he's crazy as hell. I think Baron Corbin's... Shut up, Rabbit. You know, stuff like that. And he just, Bray Wyatt, looks forward and says, Baron, you don't deserve the Fiend. Because that's what happens. If the Fiend doesn't want to mess with you, then you don't deserve it. The Fiend should be something wrestlers want, not Bray Wyatt. They want the Fiend. Something that this almighty demon, people want to, you know, take down. Hold on. I got something stuck in my damn finger. Take down this demon. That's what they want. And that's what Corbin wants to do, but he's a heel, so he wants to do bad things. Next up, we have a triple threat match. Number one contenders match for the Intercontinental Champion. Chad Gable, Trevor Lee, Rusev. Rusev wins. He's getting that title. He's like, I'm going to win this championship. So he wants it. He wants it bad. Next up, we have Mustafa Ali versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Good back and forth match between these two. Shinsuke wins. And finally, we have the third and final Women's Money in the Bank qualifier between Liv Morgan and Mandy Rose. Good match. Liv Morgan wins. Then the Revival are backstage asking about their thoughts about, Dirt Sheet the following week, and they say, look, the Miz and Morrison, they're just bullies. They don't bother us. They're not athletes. We're real athletes. We're professional wrestlers. They're entertainers. Yes, you can see they're allowed to say pro wrestlers. That's what I'm letting this. They're allowed to say things that you weren't allowed to say beforehand. Next up, we have Bray Wyatt versus Dolph Ziggler, one of Baron Corbin's friends. Bray Wyatt says he's going to prove why Baron Corbin don't deserve it because they're on the same level. Baron Corbin wins, and then Bray Wyatt wins. Baron Corbin's like, bang, boots him in the face. What was it called? End of days him, and that's how the show ends. Fine. Next up, we have Extreme Rules. We're going to do this, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We start off the show with a street fight. Now, this is Street Fighter. Ignore that. Between Kofi Kingston, EC3. The match is good. Kofi barely wins. EC3 does a lot better than people expected, and Kofi wins. Next up, we have Andrade versus Roderick Strong in a tables match with the help of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, who put Andrade to the table themselves. Of course, Roderick Strong pushes Andrade himself, which the ref is like, okay, he wins the match. Ding, ding, ding. Roderick Strong is the new United States Championship, and he's doing what he said he's doing. He's going to start off an undisputed reign of gold for the Undisputed Era. And next up, we have a no disqualification match between Samoa Joe and Rusev. Joe just beats the hell out of Randy Orton. The match ends after Randy, barely stand. He's unconscious and all that stuff. Samoa Joe wins. He's crazy. Look at those eyes. Next match, we have a ultimate submission match, like just 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes of these two, just like putting these two in submission holds. Hopefully it doesn't get boring. Shayna Baszler wins. Obviously, she wins with 2 straight submissions to 0. So, yeah. Next up, we have a flag match between Austin Theory and Sheamus. This time, it's a number 1 contenders match for the U.S. Championship. Again? Dude, this is bothering me right here. What is that? That's so weird. Do you see that? It's bothering me. I don't like it. Can someone explain to me what that is? Match is good, but Austin Theory wins the match. Next up, we have a tornado tag match between the New Day, representing Big E and Xavier Woods, versus the Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders win. Next up, we have the Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era in a ladder match. This is a good fucking match right here if you think about it. But the Undisputed Era end up winning the match with Bobby Fish retrieving it because Angelo Dawkins' feet were handcuffed to the ring post. I could just imagine him just dangling there. Help! Help! Next match, we have Dallas versus Curtis Axel in an Extreme Rules match. Dallas just beats the shit out of Curtis Axel, and he wins the match because there's a new attitude. He's going to prove why he is the next face of the WWE, why he's the true biggest threat in WWE, not anyone else. And he's related to The Fiend. So, or Bray Wyatt at least. But next up, we have Lars Sullivan versus Humberto Carrillo in a last man standing match. Carrillo doesn't. I've got the same thing he does. Not in the same spot, but see if you can even see that my mouse is at. But see, but Lars Sullivan wins the match just through pure strength. Next up is a tornado tag match between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors. The Kabuki Warriors win because they're amazing. Next up, we have that fatal four-way. That fatal four-way steel cage match. Because of this makes sense, right? Which you can do, I can do better. I think this would be a great match. I don't think we've ever seen a fatal four-way steel cage match before. I think Adam Cole would win the match by escaping the cage, proving he's better than everyone. He walks away, clutching his championship, looking scared, like, oh my god, I almost lost my championship. Oh, it's bothering me. What is that? What is that? Is that just like my little fat? Kill me. Next up, we have Raw. I think this is the final show of the... I think. I could be wrong. We start the show off. Paul Heyman's like, you know what? Hey, Eric Bischoff, how about I challenge you? We have a men's Money in the Bank and a women's Money in the Bank. Why don't we do a tag team Money in the Bank? And my tag teams will be consisted of the Viking Raiders, Zack Ryder, and Kurt Hawkins in the New Day. Good. I know you won't disappoint, Eric, because you want to show brand supremacy as much as I do. And the match is pretty much set right then and there. We start off the show with two-thirds of said match between Hawkins and Ryder versus the Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders demolish Hawkins and Ryder. Next up, we have Roderick Strong defending his U.S. Championship against Andrade. No interference from the Undisputed Era. Roderick Strong wins by grabbing the tights. Austin Theory comes down and says, hey, Roderick, I've earned a shot. Me and you, Money in the Bank. I'm taking that title, etc. Next up, the Street Profits like, ooh, Undisputed Era. We're going to be taking that championship. We're going to bring all the smoke of Money in the Bank. I do a shitty Montez Ford impression. But still, they're out there trying to promote that match for Money in the Bank. Because they can do it. Next up, we have Kalisto versus Sami Zayn. Kalisto gets a surprise roll-up on Sami Zayn, and then Kevin Owens comes out, beats the shit out of Kalisto, just beating him down, senseless, it's senseless. Yeah, he beats him down. And then Rey Mysterio comes down to help his new protege, the Super Luchas, is a team now. Because, oh my god, that's bothering me. Do I have a very defined chin? Or a jawbone or something? Etc. Next up, we have Raw's first women's Money in the Bank qualifying match between Natalya and Asuka. Asuka wins. She deserves it. Next up, we have Titus O'Neil versus Dallas. Dallas pretty much picks off. Titus O'Neil just yeets him. He's like, I'm the man. Next up, we have the men's Money in the Bank qualifying match between Big Show and EC3. EC3 wins. I would have him pick up the Big Show and body slam him and have the commentators be like, oh my god, this is like Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 3. And all the fans are like, no, it's not. Because I like pissing people off. And EC3 wins the match. And he gets on the mic and says, don't ever compare me to Hulk Hogan again. Drops the mic. He's his own man. He doesn't want to be compared to anybody. Next match is a #1 contenders match for the WWE Championship. You already seen who wins, but fuck it. It's Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal versus Samoa Joe. We all know who wins this match. Drew McIntyre. It's a good match. But Randy Orton, I don't know, I gotta take a look at my notes. But Drew McIntyre wins the match. Claymore and Samoa Joe, not Jinder, because I really want to do something with Jinder. But Drew wins and the Undisputed Era attacks him. Finally, I can, go lay down. What time is it? It's 3:14. I didn't want to be up all this night. Damn it! Anyway, guys, this is the Caddick One saying peace. Episode 3 will be up in like a couple weeks. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. Nah, love y'all.